This is the Revolutionary News, produced on Friday, July 11th, 1775. I'm Anson Ingram, at the Anchor Desk in Philadelphia. We bring you news from across the colonies. Follow the revolution each week, exactly 250 years to the day after the events occur. This is day 83 since the first shots were fired at Lexington and Concord. We start tonight with our Today in History segment and look back exactly 20 years to July 9th, 1755, and the Battle of the Monongahela. On this day, British forces, including colonists, were ambushed by French and Native American combatants and forced to retreat. Bitter adversaries today, George Washington, then only 23 years old, and 36-year-old British Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Gage, served together in the pursuit of control of the Ohio country. While the British ultimately won the French and Indian War, its loss in the Battle of the Monongahela brought an end to what was called Braddock's expedition, led by British General Edward Braddock, who was mortally wounded. In addition to Washington, Braddock's troops included other officers who now hold leadership positions in the Continental Army, including Charles Lee and Horatio Gates. Turning now to this week's interview, we welcome back General Washington to the Revolutionary News, live from Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Thanks for having me, and thank you for the retrospective on Edward Braddock, my former commanding general. I learned so much from serving as his aide-de-camp. It's hard to believe that just 20 years ago, I was fighting side by side with those I now seek to vanquish.
Yes, the irony is rich. But General, we reported last week that you had arrived in Cambridge and had reviewed some of your troops. What can you tell us after a week on the ground there?
Well, I have reconnoitred the enemy and have found them well entrenched on Bunker's Hill and on Copp's Hill, along with 3 floating batteries on the Mystic River. Our troops are largely stationed in Roxbury and on Winter and Prospect Hills, so we have the enemy in full view from about a mile away.
What are the other issues you confront, sir?
We could use more tents and soldiers to put in them. We've been using old worn-out sailcloth, and that won't suffice. Also, we're occupying local homes and college buildings, but need greater uniformity if we're to operate as a proper army. We could really use a good Quartermaster General, and I'm thinking of putting Joseph Trumbull of Connecticut in that role.
What else do you need?
In a word, money. The troops, especially those raised in Massachusetts, really need clothing. I'd buy over 10,000 hunting shirts if I could.
For our audience who may be unfamiliar with hunting shirts, we're showing a picture of one on the screen now.
Yes, they're quite practical, and uniformity of dress would improve morale by eliminating the provincial distinctions that lead to jealousy and dissatisfaction. We're also desperately low on gunpowder, along with lead and flints.
Thanks for keeping us apprised of your situation, and we hope Congress is able to accommodate you, sir.
You're most welcome, Anson. I appreciate your drawing attention to our needs. By the way, I'm moving my headquarters next week to a larger house nearby on Brattle Street in Cambridge that was vacated last year by loyalist John Vassall.
Thanks for letting us know, and we hope it meets your needs. So, there you have it, the news of the week ended July 11th, 1775. Tune in next Friday, subscribe for free to this YouTube channel, and follow the revolution.